Welcome to this guide on column subtraction for year 3. We've got 3-digit numbers again, like we focused on with column addition. Numbers with a hundreds value, a tens value and a ones value. There are 3 integers in that one number. And again, we've focused on 3 different strategies here of no exchange at all, where we don't need to do any swapping around or any what we used to call borrowing. Exchanging tens into ones, where we need to exchange our 10 into 10 ones. Or exchanging hundreds into tens, where we need to exchange 100 into 10 tens over here. I'll show you how to do all of those. You'll notice I'm referring to it as exchange. We're not talking about borrowing anymore. We're trying to train our brains mathematically to understand that what we are doing is exchanging 2 things that might look different but are worth the same. For example, exchanging 100 into 10 tens, or exchanging a 10 into 10 ones, rather than just saying we're going to borrow it. So we're trying to train our brains to understand the maths behind the strategy. With a no exchange subtraction problem like this one, it's relatively simple. All we need to do is remember to start from the ones digits here and to work top down. Every so often people go the wrong way and they'll try and do 1 take away 5 instead. So remember, we start from the ones and we go top down. So 5 take away 1 will be 4. 8 tens take 2 tens will be 6 tens. You'll notice I'm not saying 8 take away 2 because that's not what we're doing. We're doing 8 tens take away 2 tens. 400s minus 200 will be 200s. So you can see there, no exchange has taken place. That's relatively straightforward. Here, we will need to exchange some tens into ones. So look at this with the pupils in the ones column, and we'll be saying that I've got 1 sweet, I can't eat 5 of them. Yeah, I've got 1 pen on the table, I can't go and pick up 5. Further on in the school, we'll talk about negative numbers, we'll talk about minus numbers, but here we don't do that. So what we're explaining to pupils is that we need to exchange. I've got 5 tens here, so I'm going to exchange one of those tens and turn it into 10 ones and put it back into the ones column. That 5 tens has now become 4 tens because one of the tens has been exchanged into 10 ones. We've swapped it into 10 ones. What we used to call borrowing, but we're not going to call borrowing anymore. I can now do 11 ones take 5 ones, which will be 6 ones. I can now do 4 tens take 3 tens, which will be 1 10. Remember, it's not 4 take away 3, it's 4 tens take away 3 tens. And 300s take 200s for 100. So that's exchanging tens into ones. It works very similarly for exchanging hundreds into tens. So 5 ones minus 2 ones, I can do, that's 3 ones. But here, 6 tens minus 8 tens, I can't. This is when a lot of children will just go the other way and do, well, I can do 8 take 6, so I'll do that. Be very watchful of that. It's really tempting to just go, oh, well, 8 take 6 is 2, mission successful. So be very, very mindful. That's a very common misconception that occurs, a very common problem that pops up. What we need to recognise is, if there are 6 pencils on the table, I can't go and pick up 8 of them. So then we're going to exchange one of our hundreds into 10 tens. And then I'm going, that's 700, because we've exchanged 100, will now be down to 600. Now I can do 16 tens take away 8 tens, which will be 8. And then I can do 600s minus 200 for 400. So just be really wary of the temptation, like here when we had 1 minus 5, for pupils just to transpose those digits and go, I'll just do 5 take away 1 because I can do that. That's the biggest misconception that we come across. Have a go at those at home, but if you do need any support, come and ask your class teachers, we're happy to help.